This video is a warning, not to just mechanics and shop owners, but the general public. The automotive industry is changing fast, and in the next 10 years, it'll become unrecognizable. Let me explain. Cars used to be simple machines like this one. They had minimal technology, they were easy to fix, and the cost was cheap enough where pretty much everybody could own one, if not two or more. Not to mention they lasted for years and were passed down from generation to generation. Now this is all changing right before our eyes and we don't even realize it. I see it coming, and soon owning a car will seem like something only rich people can do. Heck, it's almost like that now. These old cars that were so easy and cheap to fix, they're fading away fast. And these newer cars, they're packed with technology that only the manufacturer can access and sell to you. So here's what the future is going to look like. You're going to go buy a car, it's going to have a big touch screen in the front of it, it's going to have things like self-driving, fast charging, and it's going to have all these computers that send data back to the manufacturer and your local government. And it's going to cost so much, it's going to be impossible to buy the thing outright. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to finance it. And then on top of that, you're going to have to pay for all the extra add-ons like GPS systems, fast charging, self-driving, anything you want extra, you're going to have to pay for. And the worst part about all this is you're not going to be able to add on your personal modifications like you used to be able to do. If you want to change the rims, that's going to be a big major repair. A sound system in your car, it's pretty much going to be impossible. And then when the thing breaks, the only person that's going to be able to fix it or willing to fix it is going to be the manufacturer. And if you don't believe me, well, just look at any new John Deere tractor and ask the farmers. This stuff is happening already. So here's the real question. With all this stuff happening, are you even going to really own the car? And the answer is no. And the worst part about it is by the time you pay off the darn thing, it'll eventually break. And when it breaks, it's going to cost more than the car's even worth to fix. I could give you several examples of how this is happening already, but we'll get to that later. First, let's get to the problem with the older cars. Now these reasons is why I love older cars and why I drive a 97 4Runner. And I've been trying to find other good older models to fix up and resell, but it's becoming harder and harder to do. Not because the cars aren't good, it's because it's hard to find the parts. So here's a great example of this. Here we got a 98 Camry torn all apart here. Now the only problem with this transmission is this back cover right here is broken. You see that metal piece hanging out of it? That seals up the direct clutch. And without that metal piece in there, ain't no sealing gonna happen. Now it's still torn apart because this part is a unicorn. We can't find it. Even if the part suppliers wanted to sell it to us, they couldn't. And the reason we can't find it is because stuff like this really isn't in high demand anymore. And honestly, the junkyard doesn't have any of these transmissions because they make more money shredding them down and selling them for scrap metal than they do waiting to sell $50 parts like this one. Now this problem isn't just with this car, it's a lot of the older cars. These parts are becoming harder and harder to find, especially when you take them down and break them down this much. These little bitty parts inside these things are pretty much obsolete. The manufacturers don't make them anymore. And they do this for a number of reasons. One, because they want to sell new cars and not fix old cars. And two, because there really isn't a demand for these old parts. I mean, I'm probably the only one in the nation looking for a back cover for an old Toyota Camry transmission. And I can't imagine much more people looking for a good used transmission for a 98 Camry. Now the other problem with old cars is they're old, and that may be obvious, but when you start taking stuff apart like this, other stuff tends to break. And you just gotta pray and hope whatever you broke is available and you can buy it. Because if you can't, well, then you're stuck with a car apart, kind of like this one. So when stuff like that happens, we really only have a couple options. We could try to go get a whole good used transmission from some junkyard if they have it listed somewhere, which we've already tried that before we tried to rebuild it. And they don't got them. Then we could come out back here and hope we have the part that we need out back just sitting in this pile of junk, which we do have a couple back covers, but none for a 98 Camry. And then the third option is we could hope we have a whole nother transmission out here that's a core that we could rob the back cover off of. Or we could go out to the junkyard, our local pick and save, and hope they have a 98 Camry and rob the back cover off a transmission off of that, bring it here and put it on that transmission we got inside, which is not a high probable situation. Now this is why we got all these cores lined up back here, but a lot of this stuff really is in high demand and it kind of just sits back here and collects dirt and grease. And this is why the junkyards are crushing all these cars, because honestly, all this stuff is probably worth more in its weight in metal than it is sitting back here waiting for somebody to need it. Because this stuff really isn't in that high a demand because not a lot of people are taking this stuff apart and putting it back together like we are. So outside these old cores sit until we need parts out of them, and we slowly pick them out until they're basically just empty cases. And sometimes we'll keep the empty cases around because if a case breaks, then heck, you may need that thing in the future. But all these parts out here one day are going to be melted down and made into new cars that are going to be doing all the things I told you about. They're going to be running off of electric hybrid systems. They're going to have way more computers in them, and they're pretty much going to be impossible for guys like me and other independent repair shops to fix. But hey, this is the reality of where we're at. So the reality is you're either driving an older car that's expensive to drive and even more expensive to fix because the manufacturer's holding all the cards, or you have an older car that's expensive to fix regardless and sometimes impossible to fix because you can't get the parts. Now there is a solution for you, the consumer. Now I've been looking for a truck for myself, and I think I found a sweet spot for good vehicles. This here is a 2007 Toyota Tundra. It's got a 5.7 liter V8. It could tow up to 10,000 pounds. And these trucks, there's been multiple ones that have made it over 1 million miles. Now the sweet spot I'm talking about are generally cars made from 2007 to 2020. And most of them are Honda and Toyota. Now the best ones I've found are 4Runners, Highlanders, CRVs, RAV4s, Accords. And if you're looking for trucks, you got Tundras, Ridgelines, and Tacomas. Now the better ones can be Civics, Avalons, and even trucks like Titans and the F-150s. All those cars made in this time period are pretty decent vehicles. And you'll figure out that they are when you go to buy them because the prices for them are just going up and up every single year. The market sets the demand based off of how good the car is. And once you find a good car, the best thing you can do is find someone to take care of your car, aka a good mechanic. Now most of you are going to ask, why are there no good mechanics anymore? Or why are there no mechanics anymore, period? And that is a pretty tough question to ask, but I think I got the answer. Now mechanics are extremely hard to find, and good mechanics are even harder to find. In our shop, we only got 3 guys on the floor and 1 transmission rebuilder. And other than that, it's me and my dad, and we're answering customer questions all day and diagnosing cars and figuring out the hard problems. Now the reason it's so hard to find a good mechanic really comes down to 3 different things. 1, car culture is dead. Most of the cars nowadays aren't cool like this old Camaro here. They don't have nice 350 high horsepower engines, and they're not really that fun to drive. They're more like this Ford Escape here. They're economical little tin cans that cost way too much to fix and way too much to buy. Plus, they're not really that fun to repair. Mechanics back in the day, they loved working on cars because the cars were fun to work on and fun to drive and fun to experience. But nowadays, they're just little economical pieces of junk that you can make money on. There's not really any enthusiasm with these cars. You're not really excited to take apart a Ford Escape like you were excited to take apart an old Camaro back in the day. And it just gets worse and worse as we go along the system. You got an old Honda here that's built so crappy, it's on its 2nd engine and under 100,000 miles. And while this thing is pretty easy to work on, rebuilding that engine is not something you really want to do. Not because it's hard to do, but because it's a piece of junk. And when you start taking the repair out of car repair, you become more of a part swapper and less of a mechanic. And that doesn't make mechanics really feel that great. Now the other big problem of why you can't find mechanics is the system we got set up in the automotive industry. Now here we try to make it fair for the mechanic, but a lot of places like dealerships and other shops, they don't really make it fair for the mechanic. The mechanic does all the work, takes all the stuff apart, makes sure it works right, but they're usually the last ones to get paid, and sometimes they get paid the least. You know, the people in the office, the service writers, they usually get paid the first because they're bringing in the work and they're doing all the upfront work, getting the cars in the door, getting the job sold. But in reality, it's the mechanic that's getting the work done, and he's usually the one that's forgotten about the most. So rather than taking all these cars apart, not having fun, working for pennies on the dollar, mechanics rather go work in other jobs like fleet maintenance jobs or factory repair jobs where they're working on the same things every day, they make good money, and they feel like they're valued in their position. So it's kind of sad for me to see this decline of the automotive industry, but I see it happening and I can't help but let you know. I've grown up on these 7 bays, watching them go up and down, and I've seen them fix thousands of cars. And I could see the stuff changing right before my eyes. In the next 10 years, we're going to be driving self-driving cars with hybrid powertrains, and instead of actually repairing stuff, we're going to be replacing stuff, kind of like we're doing on that Hyundai there. And hopefully somebody like me or me can find a solution to keep the older cars on the road just a little bit longer so we can squeeze every bit of life out of them that we can. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to email me at justcallmeeddie1@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and then subscribe to this channel here. You can also hit me up on Patreon, where I'm trying to post a little more videos. But until then, make sure you work hard, make sure you play hard, and most importantly, make sure you stay dirty and subscribe. You can just call me Eddie.